do a crochet along project. It's my very first time ever hosting one, and it's the very first time allfreecrochet.com is ever doing one. So together we're charting those uncharted waters and figuring out our way to make a really fun project. So when we got thinking about the project that we're going to do, we're going to give some prizes away. So we have a link in the more information of this video if you want to look down for that link. You can actually get all the criteria, so you don't need to grab a pen when I'm talking about the materials. You can go right to that blog if you wish. And we wanted to create something fun. So our crochet along project, we didn't want to do an Afghan because it takes too long. We didn't want to do a baby product because not everybody's shooting out babies. And we didn't want to do a product that's based on a season. So I was sitting on the couch, I'm thinking, what are we going to possibly do? And then I seen these old tatty little cushions, and I got thinking to myself, you know, I really do want to go out and get some more. And then it occurred to me, why not I just crochet something that I could either put over top of this, or I can get a pillow form at a store and crochet some fabulous pillows. So what we have here is that we have 3 pillows, but this is classified as pillow 1 over here, and this is classified as pillow 2, both of these. Okay, so there's slightly different pattern. It's the fringing that is the difference, as well as the yarn materials that we're using. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to run over the materials and the choices, and there's disadvantages to both of these particular projects because of the fact of the materials that we've used. So let's go through that next. And let's review what's in pillow number 1. And pillow number 1, just for your information, is actually the quicker pillow to produce versus the pillow number 2. And the reason for it is that there's less fuss with the yarn associated, and the yarn actually stretches more to be able to create this fabulous little pillow. Now pillow number 1 versus pillow number 2 has more tighted finish on the end, and you'll notice that there's no like fringing or anything like that happening. To be able to create this pillow, you need a 10mm or a size N crochet hook. It's bigger than normal. And you only need 3 balls of the Red Heart Light and Lofty, and you could just go to any standard crafting store, including Walmart, to be able to pick up this product. However, if you want your pillow to be different on both sides, you are not going to need 3, you're going to need 4. What happens is that one ball will take you about 3/4 of the way up, and then the second ball then just finishes it off, and the same on the other side. You can either go to Walmart or another crafting store to get the pillow form that's currently inside this, and this is a 16" by 16" pillow form. There's all different kinds of sizes, roughly about $5. So altogether this project is the cheaper pillow of the 2 as far as cost, and roughly will cost you about $20 in order to complete from start to finish. Now let's review pillow number 2. Pillow number 2 is the same thing. You're going to need a size 10mm or a size N crochet hook, but you're going to need different materials in order to pull this off. And I want to explain the difference between the pillow that's in behind and the pillow that you see in front. But I'm going to go through the list of materials first. First of all, to complete this project, you need to have 3 balls minimum of the Bernat mosaic, and the mosaic is what's doing the color transitioning on its own. So I actually think, you think I'm actually an artist? I'm really not. It's actually the yarn doing the work. So you're going to need 3 balls of that in order to complete this project. You're going to need 3 balls of eyelash yarn to be able to complete the back of this project, because this back of this project is not only eyelash yarn, but it's actually Red Heart Super Saver, and it's black. Okay, we have the dimensions and everything that you need in the link of the more information of this video. You can also use an unused or a cushion that you want to get rid of that's in your house, or you can also go to Walmart and get the pillow frame that's 16" by 16" for about $5. Altogether, I worked out the cost for this to be about a $36 range, but it really does produce an amazing look when it comes to your pillows. So I want to explain to you the difference between these 2 pillows, even though it's the same pattern, because it's going to justify the amount of yarn that you're going to need for the front face when we do that next. So let's review pillow number 2. And pillow number 2, the major difference of these is the color transitioning. Now, you can use 3 balls of yarn, okay, for each of these, and it will work out because you need 3 balls. But you can see that there's a fundamental difference between the way that this looks versus this one. This one here, I just took the balls and I just started the colors wherever the ball started. I didn't care. I just made it just go. I know the colors match, and you're going to notice that it's going to cause its own effect going on. With this one here, I was more conscious that I wanted to really keep that rainbow transitioning going. So what's going to happen is that this ball here is starting off orange. So what I want to do is that I want to get this ball, and I want to start this ball so that it's in the orange tinge somewhere, either in front of the orange tinge, like color-wise, that it's transitioning out of orange, or coming into orange. And so I want to just, you know, I'm going to waste yarn if you can imagine that. So you're going to pull it out, and you want to start up this ball exactly where this one is also as well. The third ball, I also want to start it where the orange tinge is. So what's going to happen is that you're going to see that at certain points the colors then all match each other just for a little bit, and then they start separating back out again. And this is what's creating this really beautiful look. However, the front faces here take up almost one of these whole balls. So when you go to waste as much as it is in order to create this, you're going to be yarn short. I'm sure of it. So, because that's what happened with me. So I'm going to need a fourth ball on the side in order to just compensate, just in case that where you had to start, you had to waste too much yarn in the beginning of the ball in order to get the transitioning to match just fine. Either way, these pillows are magnificent. It's just the color transitioning. What's more important for you, to look more in sync or to be more randomized and really quite designer looking? So that's it for now. We're going to meet back here on February 29th of 2012, where we're going to launch the second video of 3 on how to create these pillows, and we're going to work on the front and the backs together. Remember, this is a contest, so we have a very limited time. In the more information of this video, you're going to find a link, and that link will have the materials that I talked about in this video in order for you to just check off, because maybe you have some of this product, maybe you've got to order it online, or maybe you just have to run to the store in order to follow along with this crochet project. Until later, we'll see you right here on behalf of allfreecrochet.com. I'm your host, Mike. To allfreecrochet.com. I'm your host Mikey at the wheel as we move on with our crochet along, and we're doing pillows. This is for pillow number 1, and in this video I'm going to take you through the starting and the stopping of doing the front and the back face of these pillows. You're going to ask yourself, why would I ever have chosen the basket weave on material like this, because it's very difficult to see? The answer is actually very simple. When you look at this star that I did, isn't this fabulous? Is that when you do regular double crochet, what happens when you go to stretch it, you can still see the foam that's through it. So if you actually did regular double crochet over a pillow and you put the pillow form on the inside, whites of the pillow would show up in between all the stitches. So I've actually basket weaved in order to hide that and to make this material a lot more thicker and a lot more cooler. So let's get started on making pillow number 1 for the All Free Crochet along. Before I take you down to the studio, this is what one of the panels looks like before you actually put it onto a pillow. The reason why I'm putting this part in the video is that I really want you to pay attention and look at this like it's a checkerboard, so you can see that there's squares. Okay, whether the squares are popping out or popping in. And this is the amount of squares that we need to look at when we're doing this product. When you see this, you'll notice that the square's popping out on this side, but on the other side it's actually indentating in. Okay, so what we have here is that when you look at it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll have 8 squares going across, and you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you'll have 7 squares going up, and use that to help monitor yourself. On the very final, as you'll see in the directions, the very final, we just have to repeat the pattern one more time in order to make it to have 3. What we're looking for is every time we're doing a transition, we need to have 3 ridges that separate each one of these out. And that's how you know that you need to start switching your pattern in order to make the basket weave go in the other direction. And so you just have to look for 3. So when we started off, even though we're going to start off with the double crochet down at the bottom, we still have 3 ridges down here. So therefore we have to have the 3 up here before we can classify this as being done. And you'll be very surprised on how fast this will actually work out. To start off pillow number 1, we're going to need at least 3 balls of the Red Heart Light and Lofty, as you see here. I'm going to switch over to green just to be different. And this one here is Wine. I should actually look at this one. This one's called Sage Stripe. And we're going to get started with that. If you want different colors on both sides, so if you want this side to be green, the other side to be wine, then you're going to need at least 2 colors, because one ball here will only take you 3/4 of the way up on one side, and then you'll need another ball in order to finish it. We're also going to be using a size 10mm or an N crochet hook.
just like you see here. Now here's a different one. I prefer bamboo over the resin any day, and I noticed here, see how the gap is not very deep? I noticed that my stitches kept dropping off and was driving me nuts, but then what I got was a resin one here, and it fits in this groove very nicely, and it avoided so much of my own frustration. So if you're looking at a good crochet hook for this particular project, I'd look one for a nice deep groove in order to avoid a lot of frustration. So now we're going to start off, and let's begin the chain. Okay, we're going to start off with our slip knot, and we're just going to wrap it around our finger twice, taking the back over the forward and taking the back one now, up and over. And we have been doing this for a number of years. We're just going to slip on our hook, just like this. And some people are commenting that using this yarn is very hard to see the stitches. Let me show you how easy it is, because we're not actually going to be playing with the stitches in the very beginning. We're actually going to be playing with the post, which makes a huge difference. This never counts as one, so all I need you to do is chain 37. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I want you to go all the way to 37. We're going to meet back up, and if you can't see your stitches here, I'm going to show you that in just a second. So we'll meet back up in a second, get 37 of these done. So I now have 37 of these done, and I need you to count back to the fourth one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and I know you probably can't see it, but you could just really, it's just kind of like grouping up into your hand, so it should be able to do it. And we want to double crochet that. Okay, and so we want to double crochet ourselves all the way back to the very beginning of the chain. So just going in, wrapping through. This is the only time in this project that you're going to be working within a stitch. Okay, and so you can just take a look at it. There's the next one right here, and just make sure that you get 2 of the strings on top, 1 on the bottom, in order to be able to do that. And just keep moving along. We'll meet you back up on the other side, and we're going to do a final count before we release you off, because the next step up is that we're going to start doing the basket weave. I'm now on the very end, and I still have stitches left, but I can't go any further, because like any good crocheter, it's about adapting. And what we need is a total of 34 posts. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's happened here is that maybe I put in an extra piece somewhere along the path, but I don't need to go all the way to the end. Because this is a pillow, all of this is going to do is that when we go around to do the outside to seal it off, we're just going to tuck this in. This is where we started, and it'll make your life a lot easier instead of having to pull this apart and trying to get it perfect. It's kind of what I did on the other one, but don't tell anybody. So let's turn this material, and we're going to begin doing the basket weave, and we're going to start off by doing the front post first. So when we do basket weaving, we cannot just double crochet up, because what happens is that we're going to double crochet into the post. Therefore, this stitch is going to be smaller. It's going to be tinier than the stitch on the end. So on the end, we always only chain up 2. So 1 and 2. Normally in double crochet we would have done 3. So with basket weaving, we just have to wrap, and we just go in the post and out the post. So in one side, out the other, and we grab the material and double crochet as normal. And we want to do the first 4 like that. So wrap, going in to the next post, out the other side, and double crochet as normal. So you're thinking to yourself, Mikey, you know, you're going to see the pillow stuff in between. Trust me on this, that when you're doing the basket weave, when you do this stitch like this, it's going to compress everything. So you're going to think it's too big at first, but you're going to notice the whole width is going to compress, and you're already starting to see the compression right now happening there. It's getting closer. So that's what's going to happen. So we want to do the first 4 stitches like that. So we're on the front side. So this is a front post double crochet. So now the next 4 are going to be from behind. So we're going to wrap, and we're going to come in from behind, snap it through, and snap it back. So we're on the back side, and we're going to double crochet that on the back side. So that's back post double crochet. So you can see it just pulled it backward. So let's do the next one. So wrap through the back, snap it back out, because we only want the post. Okay, so that was 2, and we only want to do 4. So the 34, what happens is where did I get the count of 34 from? I'm just going to talk to you while I'm doing this. Is that every basket formation here is in groups of 4. And so you're thinking to yourself, well, there's 8 boxes across, why didn't you go 32? And the reason for it is that the very end one has to have 1 left over so that you can move up and down the stitches. So now that you got 4 in behind, the next 4 are going to be in front. I'm almost thinking with this pattern versus the wine that you're going to see you're going to actually see the basket weave a lot more better than you can see it on the wine. I think the wine is more consistent on coloring. So this one actually might be a lot more cooler. This one reminds me of moss too. So we're working on the front side only. Sorry, I digress. I was admiring the colors here. The Light and Lofty by Red Heart. So we're on the front for 4, and then we go in the back for 4. So that's how all you have to do on this line. Just forward 4, back 4, and well, let's meet up on the edge of this line where I'll show you what you have to do, because the very last stitch is the critical point for being able to move up. Now if you did your homework right, on the last transitioning point with the last box there should be 4 and then 1 left over for your end piece. Everything has to be in groups of 4. If you don't have a group of 4 somewhere, you know you screwed up somewhere. So just keep an eye open for that. So you're thinking to yourself, my word, that's really hard to crochet with this stuff. It's so easy. I actually really like this stuff. It's so bulky. You don't have to worry about more than 1 string. Of the 2 pillows, this is the quicker one of the 2 because the yarn is so bulky and it just really fills out nicely. So I've got my 4 in behind, so now we still have our end piece, and like we started before, we chained up 2, so therefore that's only half double crochet. So we're just going to go right into the top part of the chain, right, not into the gap, but right into the chain, and we're going to half double crochet. And you can see when I pointed out to you that about the lumps, okay, you can see those there. And so we're looking for 3 of these up in a row before we can transition to do the other side of the basket weave. So let's move on to your next step. Simply turn the material. Okay, and this one we're just going to match exactly what you see. So let's chain up 2, 1 and 2. We'll already explained why that is. So if the basket weave is on this side, you want to front post it. If it's on the back, then you want to back post it. So these are on my side, so I want to front post this. So I'm just going to go into the post from the front and double crochet. Again, the next one, it's from the front. And if you remember in groups of 4, it's really not that hard to figure that out. You're just matching everything that's underneath. We have to match it for at least 3 rows in order for the basket weave to take a good hard long look and to make it work. So the next ones are in behind. You can see that they're in behind because they are in behind, and we're going to just double crochet from behind, okay, the back post again. So this row is about matching everything up to what you already have below. Okay, so we're just coming in from behind, and again, you know, I'm not really showing you like going in from the behind. I'm just telling you to do it. This stuff is really bulky, but I didn't want to use another yarn in order to prove to you that this is actually easy to work with. So now you can see that there's 2 lumps here. So we only have 1 more to go before we're going to transition to the other side. So this one now it's in front, so we're just going to go in from the front and just continue to go along and match everything that you see. So if it's from the front, match it to the front. If it's in the back, match it to the back. Let's meet up in the end of this line where we'll move up another level. So we're now coming up to the very end of this line, and we've just matched everything basically along the way. And of course the last one, remember, it's a half double crochet, so we just go right into the chain. Don't ever go into the gap. You want to stay into the chain so that it makes it look even. So just half double crochet, remember, it's all the way through all of them. Now we're going to turn it and work our way up. So you see 1 lump, 2, you don't see another one there, so that means that we have to match this 1 more time before we get the final, before we can switch this pattern in order to create the checkerboard effect. So let's begin. We're going to chain up 2, and this is just like we did on the last line. We're just matching everything. So just go along. If it's on the front, match it to the front. If it's on the back, match it to the back, and I'll meet you back up on the other side of this line, and we're going to then switch the pattern, and we're going to start reversing everything on the line in order to make the basket weave effect turn out. So that was the front, and now the next one's the back, and continue that, and we'll meet back up in just a second. We're now coming up to the very end, and you're thinking to yourself, if you're not, I'm going to put it in your brain anyway, that wow, that was kind of a really deep box. It looks a lot deeper than it does in the picture. And the reason for it is that the next round, this whole round that we just did right here, this whole row is actually going to suck down in behind and be part of the transition. So let's finish up. We are going in behind here in the last round, the last section here, and then in the end we just want to half double crochet into the chain. So now we are ready to transition by reversing the pattern, meaning that we're going to start grabbing everything to create the box look. You can see that there's 3 lumps now. Okay, 3. So you know you're ready. So let's turn. Wow, I really like the colors. I really like the one on this one. So we're now going to chain up 2 as we did before. So the rule is now on this line, everything that is on the front is on the back. It's like your little kid sister or brother teasing you that whatever you say is opposite. So if it's on the front, we're going to double crochet and we're going to come it from the back, and that's going to suck that back. And we're just going to double crochet. So if it's on the front, we're going to come from the back. And this is the beginning of transitioning the pattern to create the box. And you can see that a lump is already starting to form in the front. I think a lump is probably not the right word, but you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so we have that lump is in the front, and now, so this one's in the back, so now this one we grab from the front. So whatever is there, we're just putting in the opposite over above it. And that's all you got to do for this line. So just do that along. We'll meet back up at the end of the line, and we'll move up again. And look how much material has already been done. Like, look, like this is how fast these pillows work up. It's actually pretty amazing. So I'll meet you back up. Just remember to do everything opposite. Okay, we're now coming up to the end, and this was the everything was opposite line. So if it was on the front, it now goes on the back, and vice versa. And we're now on the very end. We have our last chain piece there, and we want to half double crochet that as we have been all along. So we're really primarily looking for these lumps, and now you don't see any more lumps there because we're now coming out towards you, and the lumps have now started forming here, and this is what's creating the whole box look that when you have, and you can see that it's starting to become very three-dimensional. Let's turn this material, and in this row we want to match everything that's already there. So if it's on the back, it stays on the back, and if it's on the front, it's on the front. So it's starting up, chaining 2, and the first ones here are on the back, so we want to come in from behind and do the back post double crochet. And this whole line is just basically like we've already taught before. What's on back stays on the back, what's on the front stays on the front. And do this whole row, and we'll meet back up on the other side. We'll continue along on this project. We're now coming up to the end here, and what was on the front stays on the front, what was on the back stays on the back for this round, or for this row. And we want to double or half double crochet the end as always. And now we're turning it again, and we're looking. Let's look for those lumps. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, and then over here you got 1 and 2. So that means that you got to go again. I knew you had to go again. I just want to give you a really good visual so that you can do this on your own without having to turn on a video. So 1 and 2 again, and what's on the back stays on the back because we don't have enough lumps to do the transition to go back the other direction. And so we're just going to maintain what's on the back is on the back, and what's on the front is on the front for this particular row. So let's maintain that. We'll meet you back up, and this will be the last time. You can already see that the third one is starting to form, so that means that the next one going back across is going to be our transition as we transition to get to doing it the other direction to create the next box going up in the next direction. Okay, we're now coming to the end. Look how far we've gotten already. And so we're going to be on the front side because it was on the front. We're just matching what you already saw. Half double crochet again in the edge chain, and we are ready. Now we're going to turn it, and again we're looking for those lumps. So now you can actually physically see 3. So you got 1, 2, and 3. So we're now ready to transition. So this is where I'm going to leave you for the rest of your project. I'm just going to get you started here. You want a total of 7 of these little boxes going up, and then you realize that you're done. And make sure that at the end you just want to make an extra row so that you do have your 3 lumps. Okay, so you are looking for your 3 lumps all the way through this project. So let's transition up. So 1, 2, and so we're now ready to transition back in the other direction. So what is on the back comes to the front, and vice versa. So these are on the back. So we want to double crochet on the front of this post now. So we just want to reverse everything that you see to be able to create the transition. So I need you to create 2 of these, and what we're going to do now is we're going to meet back up in a week from this time, from the release of this video, and we're going to be able to seal off this particular pillow, and so that you can then finish off your project. You're going to find these are a lot of fun. You might want to do more than one. I've done, I think, 5 already, so I just am addicted to the process. I think it's a lot of fun. And again, on this round, we are reversing everything that you see. So just keep moving along in this project. You'll find that this goes pretty quick. This one is the quicker one to complete of the two. I think the yarn is easier to work with than the other one. It's less tiresome, I guess. And but overall, really quite a great project. So we'll see you in about a week from this time of the release of this video, where we'll make up and we'll actually seal this into the pillow, and then your project will be considered complete. Till next time, on behalf of allfreecrochet.com, I'm your host, Mikey.
Welcome back to allfreecrochet.com. I'm your host Mikey, and today we are finishing up the crochet along pillows as you see below. Now today we have both pillows, and both of them, the way that I did the edging is very different from each other. In the Bernat Mosaic ones here, I actually made it a flange, or like a fringe going around, where the ones that were the Red Heart Light and Lofty, I just did a nice quick join like this to make it so it's really tight together. So what we've done at this point, if you've been following this crochet along, is that you will have made 2 panels. So this is the Red Heart Light and Lofty, this is the Sage, isn't that gorgeous? So you obviously want to have the other one too. So what we need to do when we go down to the studio is that we're just going to put the 2 together and start attaching them all, and we're going to leave one side of the pocket open so that we can ram in the little pillow afterward. Also with the Bernat Mosaic ones, we also have the panels done, and this is 1 and this is 2. You will see that there's a slight difference, and that's just because of the way that the yarn is operating on the hook. And again, we just want to put the 2 together and then just seal it up around the edge in order to make it happen. Now you will have noticed that in the pattern is that I provided an eyelash version, which was the back side of this, and we all know, or if you don't, is that when you film with black yarn, it's impossible to see your stitches. So what I've done, just for the miraculous version here on YouTube, is that I actually did 2 panels using the same yarn so that you can see exactly where the stitches are going when we're operating. So let's go down to the studio right now. We're going to start off with the Red Heart Light and Lofty. It's the easiest one to join. Again, you can use that same join as well for doing either or, and then we're then going to move on to the Bernat Mosaic one here, where we're going to do a nice fringing around, and again, you can do that with the Red Heart Light and Lofty one as well. So let's go downstairs and take a look at what it's all about.
The first thing you're going to want to do is that you just want to make sure you check the outside face to make sure there's nothing abnormal about it, because you might have something maybe on one side that is maybe not so desirable. There's a loose end here, but this would have been on the inside of the pillow anyway, based on my last plan, so it's all cool. So I just want to make sure that we have everything good, and I checked the other one already off camera. We're just going to take our yarn now coming from the yarn ball, and we're going to form a slip knot, and you can use a different yarn for attaching if you wanted a different color of edging, but I want to keep this all the same. So let's move this on over, and I want to join these things together. And you will have noticed that there's posts. Okay, I'm going to put my hands behind it to see if you can see it. And what I want to do is that when I'm going to join, I want to actually join around this entire section and not just into a stitch. And we're going to start off with the very edge piece and the edge piece on the other side. And this is a straggler from this section here. It's a little bit too long, but we can actually just seal that on the inside as well. Not too worried about that. And let's go. So this is the yarn on the hook, and I just want to come in the one side, going in the other. So I'm just looking for the post on the very edge on the other side. There's the straggler for that piece, and I just want to take the yarn and I want to go around and I want to pull it through. Okay, and I want to pull it through. So this is a slip stitch joining. So all you have to do is now stretch it. Okay, this is where we are. This is the next one, so go in there, and then we just go for the back one. We just look where we are, and we just, so we've attached here. So this is the next one. So we just go around here, and again, we just want to pull through and through. And that's all you got to do. So you just look for the next post, going in the section, same on the other side, pull through and through. Post. And what this is doing is that it's keeping it all lined up. So this is a nice slip stitching join. It really will do a tight stitch, and so it won't be any fringing or anything on this particular pillow if you did it this way. So you could do the mosaic this way as well if you felt like doing it like that. And I need you to go all the way around. So let's just meet up at the first corner. Sorry, do not go all the way around. I want you to only do 3 edges, and we're going to meet up in the first corner, and I'm going to show you how to turn the corner on it so that you can keep this all looking pretty cool. So I'm coming up to the outside there on the outside of the corner. You want to make sure that you don't grab any more than you have to as far as the posts are concerned, and we are slipping. So you cannot slip when you're going around the corner. This is actually, and what we need to do is that we need to, for 3 times, we need to single crochet around the final post, and this is allowing the material to turn. So we just go in and single crochet, because this yarn is so plush that sometimes you just don't want to catch anything. I think I already just said that, but you don't want to catch anything you don't want in here. So now we're going to turn the corner, and now we are over here. So again, it's the same kind of principle. Where you're grabbing on one side, you should grab on the other. And again, we are just going to slip stitch going into the first section and the first section on both sides. And I want you to continue to do this all the way around. Just make sure you grab consistently as you're working away, because on the sides there, it's not always easy to tell where you need to grab your stitches. But you can see how bad I'm struggling right now because I'm just kind of doing it without thinking twice about it. So do that, and we'll meet back up, and we'll stuff in the pillow, and we'll close off this entire project. So now what we're going to do, the yarn is still attached, and I want to grab my pillow form, and my work area here is pretty small, so I'm just going to just pull a little slack on that so I don't lose my crochet hook, and let's jam in my pillow. Now the pillows are square, so I don't have to worry about what is the way it goes in. And you're thinking to yourself, Michael, did you turn this stuff inside out? And the answer is no to that. Because the seaming has a 3-dimensional look, the way that we're going to finish this off, it's going to cause that 3-dimensional look to go all the way around the pillow. And because nothing bugs me worse is that when you have a nice beautiful seam and then the round finishing one is the one that you can see the worst of. So all we need to do is that we need to just continue to do what we've been doing all the way along. And we just have to close this in now. So the pillow's on the inside. Okay, any stragglers are on the inside as well, just like so. And we just have to close this off like you already just did, and then we'll meet back up and we'll continue just to finalize it, and then this one will be completed. So this is a pretty ugly version of the studio here, and again, I just put this on my lap. It's just easier and just to come up, and we're going to single crochet this shut to do it. You know me, and I'm just single crocheting everything together. And so sometimes, depending on the tension of your stitching, that this process may be a little tough as you're forcing everything to come together. But this is really the final of, if you were to compare it to like being a cake and stuff, it's like the icing. And this whole process is actually really quite simple and easy to complete as well. Again, we just want to make sure we're lining up those posts together, because nothing's worse than you have a pillow that is lopsided. And yeah. So I'm coming up to the very end of this pillow, and I'm slip stitching right into the corner. Now when I had to start, we just started off with just a join, and we need to make sure, in order to keep the edging to be really nice on the edge, that we have to make sure we do go around the corner on this. So on the final post, I need you to single crochet yourselves 3 times around the corner. And then we just join everything together. So we just slip it somewhere into the existing stitch like you would if it was a circle. And then We're just going to grab our scissors. I feel like a school teacher. I'm looking over my glasses. Don't know why I'm doing that, because I do need them. So now I'm just going to hide in the straggler by just coming to the stitches before it and just weaving it through the top end of the stitches. And again, this yarn is very, very forgiving as far as any extras that it may just be peeking out of that. And voila. Snippy snip. Okay, and voila. Again, you have a finished pillow. And this one is really quite gorgeous. And needs to, and there you go. So there is that one. Really like this one. This is the Green Sage, or Sage by Red Heart Light and Lofty. Really a great little pillow. It's great for accessorizing. So let's move on to your next. So here's the next one, and again we want to check the surface of it to make sure it's going to be clean, and so we got both. And the advantage to doing a pillow like this, by the way, if you've ever wanted to do one like this, is that if you did two different things like this, join it with a nice black fringing, you can actually have a completely reversible pillow without people actually seeing the back end of it, which I think is kind of cool too. So let's begin, and we are using a Red Heart black as well as a discontinued eyelash yarn, and you can find eyelash yarn pretty well anywhere. And we are just going to create a slip knot. And we're going to grab our crochet hook and you just go into the corner. So just like the other one, we want to play within the posts, and the posts are very obvious because you've been working with them, so right in between. Okay, so we don't want to do any stitch work going into stitches, we want to go right into the posts. So start on the one side, just going right into the edge. This extra piece can be tucked on the inside when we get back around there, and we just want to go into the post area, and we just want to come on this side to the post, and we want to just fasten this but do a joint. So we're just wrapping everything around, coming back through and through. So the difference between this pillow and the last one is that the fringing will be a lot more bolder on this one. So we're going to now chain up 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And we're just going to immediately jump right into the next piece. Right there. And again on the back side we just want to look where we are and just going into the same one on the other side. Okay, and we're going to double crochet. So we're going to double crochet ourselves all the way across using these posts, or in between the posts, sorry. Okay, so once we get to the next section, like there, and again on the back side you're just looking where you're going. Just want to make sure that they're matching each other. So let's meet back up in the first corner. We'll do a corner chain or turn, show you how to do that, and we'll continue this project then. So we're now coming to the corner, and we just want to go right into the side posts, just right in the corner piece, and we want to handle this like it's a granny square. So we want to do 3 double crochets right into the same spot. We need to turn this corner as nicely as we can. We want to then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we want to come back into that same spot for 3 more double crochets. So we're going to be on the edge now that is considered the side of the pillow, where the stitches are not always obvious, but now this is more critical than the light and lofty one because there's not a very clear way of showing where the posts are, because the posts are in a different direction. We have to make sure that we're spacing these out and grabbing the stitches exactly like in line with each other. So we're just working with the outside edge piece here. Because there's lots of bright colors, if it doesn't look consistent matching with this black, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So you can't go any more in there because there's something in, you'll be putting 2 stitches in, so you want to make sure you jump over. Hopefully you were able to see that. You jump over, and then again on the other side like that. And so the goal here is just to match it to wherever. So I'm going to jump here and here, and I want you to do that all the way down so that it looks like it's consistent, like if it was the other side here. And it will and it looks all really stretched right now because that's what we're working on, but once you get it on the pillow, it just all balances out anyway. Okay, and I'll meet you back up, and I want you to do leave one side open for me where we'll pick back up. We'll stuff this bad boy and we'll get this thing sealed up. So here we are, and I'm ready now to stuff my pillow inside, and I've already turned my corner, as you can see here, and now it's just a matter of putting the pillow. The pillow is square. It doesn't really matter where I want to, like how I shove it in really. It's all square. We're on the side of the pillow at this point, so we just have to make sure that we just evenly space these stitches as much as possible. Looking at the back, you can see how I turned the corner there. So the next one is right there and there. And again, we just want to continue to double crochet and just match ourselves all the way across. So I'm thinking out loud, and I have completed, because I got totally hooked on this project, is that I have already done a pillow like this in the front. This is an afterthought. It just occurred to me now. And I've already done the pillow with the Bernat Mosaic Psychedelic on the front. And both of them have a black back, just like I'm doing around the edge. So in actual fact, what I can do on the couch is that if I feel like it's a nice day like this, I can just turn both of the pillows so that they're both like this. Or I can just grab the other pillow that looks like that and then just turn this one around, and then voila, I have that. So with 3 pillows, you can actually kind of mix and match the designs in your decor if you really felt that ambitious. It is really highly critical that, because of working with the Bernat Mosaic colorful yarn, that you match everything as easily, like as evenly as you possibly can. Because when you don't match, don't worry about that yet that you see on the back. But you just have to make sure you just match it as easily as you can, because it will stand out like a sore thumb. And you just have to go all the way across. So I'll meet you back up in the end of this. So I'm coming up to the final of the corner here. And remember that when we started, we just went in and we just chained up 3 and then we began. So when we finish off this corner, in order to get this fabulous round here, we have to make sure we're doing the same on the other side. And it's like the granny squares, and the way that I teach it is that we always start on the one side of the granny square, and when we come back around, we finish it off. So we're going to come right into the end piece again. And I noticed when I grabbed into the end piece there, I only grabbed one side of the pillow. So I want to make sure it does stay in balance. There we go, down there. It's highly critical that you get this right the first time, because you're going to say to yourself, nobody will notice, and then somebody will sit on your couch and they'll point out your mistakes. So we want to finish this corner off with 3 double crochets. And look at that, almost out of eyelash yarn. So 3 double crochets. We want to then chain 2 to turn the corner, 1 and 2, and because we chained 3 when we started, we only have to double crochet 2 more times into the same spot to make this corner turn. And then all we have to do at that point is then to slip stitch it to the top of the beginning chain that you did. So we're just looking for it now. Got it, and got it, and voila, that corner is now complete. So we just grab our scissors, snippy snip, pull up, and we're just going to use this loose end, and we're just going to weave it back through the stitches that we came from. Just like that. I weaved it up through, and because it's eyelash yarn, again, it's like the other stuff, it's very forgiving to do that. So this is what I have, and this is this pillow now complete. Nice fringing around the outside. So there is the one side there, and there is the other. Yeah. So thank you on behalf of allfreecrochet.com for joining me with this crochet along. Hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Don't get addicted. I got addicted, and I think this is like my 7th one because I'm so nuts. But yeah, other than that, life is good, and we'll see you next time.